I was about to come and get you. We're live.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Am I on your left?
If you want to be.
Oh. Whatever's
Move
easier.
this along and I'll grab that chair.
Okay.
Do you want to shut the door?
Yes.
I figured we could try and do Jethro's, completely natural. We've just hit go. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Does he do that art?
He doesn't, but he thinks we should. He thinks we should have like a countdown time. It's like we'll be here in 5 minutes and just leave it streaming.
It's this chair.
What's wrong with that chair?
The one with the ball in the bum.
You can replace it. We've just started.
I'm sat down now.
There's that chair that's got arms, which makes it fiddly. Bev's chair is the quickest chair in the office.
You know how I am with chairs with arms.
No?
I don't like them. They get in the way.
Just swap out Bev's chair. Bev's is literally the nicest chair in the office.
Let's give it a check.
Hi Alpaca, hi Rabbit, hi Steve, hi Mulder.
Oh, I don't know. This one encourages me to slouch. No, I'll go back with this one.
Good posture.
I'll be mildly uncomfortable, but with a good posture.
Oh, isn't that what good posture is?
Kind of
mildly uncomfortable at all points.
Let's move in. Oh, I'm already on. Okay, good.
Yeah, sweet.
Hello,
Sort of
everyone.
echo here. Right, what have I not muted? That's muted. YouTube, you're muted. What's echoing? What could be echoing? It's not going to be these.
Are we echoing?
Don't know.
Sure.
Steve reckons. Our friend Snuff has just started watching. They've all just started following us. They're our mates already. Already.
That's not Let's
Right.
do you want me to get it up on my phone? Like that, I'll do it quiet and we'll check.
Yeah. What about now, Steve? I've not really changed anything.
I should fix it before we go in.
Yeah.
Twitch. Let's quickly connect to the Wi-Fi so my data doesn't get nuked.
Don't use that word. Sensitive word lately.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because of North Korea?
Shh.
Oh, sorry.
No, still echo. Alright. If I was an echo, where would it be?
I can't hear an echo on the phone.
Are you running YouTube and Twitch, Steve? Are you watching this on two separate things?
Yeah, no echo here from Insane Rabbit.
It's just you, Steve. It's in your head. The echo is in your head.
Oh, no, we wouldn't hate you. We would judge you, though, but silently, because we are British.
That's what the British are very good at doing.
Shall we get into a game and wait for some people?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's obligatory that we should wait for Cheshire Cat to turn up.
No.
But we should probably give the stream some fresh blood. Right, no more echo now that we've not accidentally left a second stream open.
Always room for a Pouladin.
It depends. Are you going to play for 5 minutes and then die, and then moan the entire time about dying?
Is that what he did?
That's what he did.
Mm.
I think that's the game I won as well. That one time.
To be fair, you did win, though, so he has the right to moan.
He was moaning before I won. Or was it retrospectively he was justified?
Retrospectively.
Right, the hat, by the way, is open, and I put it on a different tab, or a different kind of browser setting, window? Is that the right word? If you have like 2 Chromes open.
2 Chromes would be Windows.
Yeah, so it's on a separate window, so when I go to check another tab, I can't accidentally hit the X.
Right. That would be silly.
Right, so do we?
Oh no, he's never played with us before.
Who was it? It might have been Neo Gambit then.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have complained.
It was Neo Gambit because that's when he drew me as one of his French girls. Because he died and had nothing else to do.
Is that? Oh yeah, is that the picture of you?
That's the picture of me.
I've saved that.
It's worth saving.
It's what it is.
Right.
So if we start a game, you can join Pouladin.
Yeah. Right. It's going up now. Well, I do this thing of like now in 15 seconds, so then I can see myself go now, and then everyone knows it's coming. I'm Fomalhaut, by the way, on Steam. So if you see a game Fomalhaut, that's me. I feel like we should.
Yeah, there's a character thing.
Yeah, we should show off.
I wasn't really a part of that.
I know.
I was complaining.
Thankfully. Right, is it we normally kind of go, what expansions do people want? On top of that, we've now got characters outside of their expansions, so you can play with the Blood Moon characters but not have any of the Blood Moon cards, or you can play with the dungeon characters and not have the dungeon expansion in, at all. Right, who's here?
Hi, Lemmy.
Hi, Lemmy. You'll know my family now.
I haven't introduced myself. I suppose I will. I'm Desendos on the forums, and I'm Richard.
Alright, Paula Dinner's cat.
Thank you. It's a good top. It's very comfy. I don't have many comfy tops.
Hi, wife.
I'm kind of seasonally oblivious. So I just take whatever's in the drawer and put it up.
I saved my Rage Quit shirt because it went missing. Because in our wardrobe we've got like a stack of 50 t-shirts.
So Ethan was using it.
I don't think it was using it. It's only yay big. I know I'm only yay big, but
Give him a couple
still
of years.
slightly bigger. Oh, Yarpen's gone to create a normal table. Ooh.
He's already gone.
Yeah, no. Game on. Twitch.tv. We can't find the game.
Do you want to put the house rules on? Make sure you.
I was doing that, but then I came to check who's
Make
here.
sure you've got the update, because you're probably running a different version, Steve Bourne. That's why you can't find the game. So verify your game files through Steam.
Yeah, it looks like no one else wants to play with us. The typing is so loud. That's because I've got the microphone right next to my keyboard.
What are the rules you set up? Let's have a look.
I've not had a chance to do anything so far. Right, so we want the revealed endings.
Yeah. Just turn off the boring ones.
Bloodbath, treasure, random treasures, treasure reward, no NPCs, just to make the game a bit quicker. I'll challenge for the. I fancy doing challenge for the.
If you want to make the game quick, Wrath of the Dragon King and Bloodbath is the way to make the game quick.
Challenge for the crown. There we go. Loads of people have requested that we have the challenge for the crown house rule outside of the ending, so they can do the gauntlet, go through the middle region, flip to the Dragon Tower, then go through the gauntlet again in the Dragon Tower.
I'm sure they would.
Sounds dead good to me.
It's not going to happen.
It's Fomalhaut's table. Hi, Society. Hi, Flaming. Hi, Hammer Time. Hi, anyone that I've not said hi to.
Yes. Put Wrath of the Dragon King on.
There's Darius.
Watch the people drop.
A €5 bounty. That's all I'm worth.
Sounds about right. You figured out how to get the air conditioning working then?
I always knew.
You always knew?
I just didn't want to put it on because I thought the hum of it being on would be heard.
No, not even close.
No.
Suppose.
So. You're over there! I can stick my head out and say hi to you. I said hi to you this morning when you came in. Although I didn't want to, because you turned the lights on.
Got my fancy tea.
Michael wasn't in this morning, which meant I got to sit in the office with no lights on. And it was dead good for the 2 minutes I was on my own. And then Amanda came in and...
Well, I'm in the office with Jethro, so we live in the land with no lights on.
Hi, Cheshire Cat. We still got a table open because... who is it? Steve. Steve can't find us. There's Steve. Steve can find us. We've got one more space.
I'm so mentally drained today. I'll do my best. Talisman is hard to program. Sure.
Just remember Dark Fate. You're not doing Dark Fate
Yet.
Alright, do we want to switch anything off? Do we not? What would having anything off make for a more interesting game?
No.
No.
Apart from just to show for the fact that you can.
Alright, let's go, I think. Let's go. Nose to the grindstone. My interrogation techniques leave your mind blown. I didn't want to say the line that starts that off, but it was that one.
He wants the alchemist off.
Yeah, that's it.
You won't be able to win if we don't have the alchemist on, so let's give him a chance.
Alright, I have to unready, don't I? Right, there we go. Playing without The Alchemist.
Disappoint.
You almost dropped that in your fancy tea.
It would have been a shame.
Alright, I'm going to martyr it. Just going to go and suicide at everything. So what's the next expansion you guys are working on? We aren't telling anyone yet.
Not allowed.
No. You're doing well. All the languages are in for it now. I keep expecting, because I want to kind of like talk about it and be secret and be like, but I'm going to end up just accidentally saying it.
I just want to tell them, but yeah.
Timescape confirmed.
We'll get told off.
It's not Timescape.
There are reasons we're not allowed to. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Is it the forest? The woodlands? Yeah, it's one of three. 3 left that we've got to do.
Yeah. It's either the woodlands. What else we doing? Harbinger.
Cataclysm. So it's one of those 3 confirmed.
Yeah. What's fancy tea?
Well,
he has a strainer and everything.
It's just normal tea, except delicious.
That's not normal tea colour.
You're right. It's not normal tea.
You've not got milk in it, have you?
No. It's
a herbal tea.
It's milk oolong.
Milk oolong.
Yeah. So it's oolong tea, but milk flavourings. It's pretty delicious. I'd recommend it.
I'm on water.
Tea's better.
Yeah.
It's lightly caffeinated.
Yeah. I'm off caffeine now. I'm trying to stop being fat.
Yeah. You're gonna regret picking Marta. It's gonna be a quick game.
Oh yeah, I forgot we're on Bloodbath.
Yeah.
I've got a character that just gives up lives for a laugh.
Instead of doing the dungeon thing, which from my experience 50-50 and you dying, going to the Highlands and maybe take one of the relics from the...
Yeah, I'll take the Arcan.
Yeah.
Alright. Oh, Dragon Rage, sweet!
Oof.
That is a solid first turn.
And now if you get really lucky, roll a 6. Roll a 1.
That's not a 6. We'll be alright.
All tea should have an umbrella. All drinks. Yes, well.
I'm good with just, you know.
I would in this case. Because you're close to the chapel, so you can sort of stay and then take it back.
We need to fight some bar
Notice
traps.
how we didn't easily name the other 2 expansions.
I can't even remember what the first one was. Did I say Woodlands? I said Woodlands because you said Woodlands.
Don't overthink it. He's just forgetful.
Yeah, Nomad Boy's been banned because when he's here, he tears everything down and breaks things, and it's just a nuisance. If he can be better behaved, he will be on another stream in the future. Or I've got a whole list of things. You should see the email I've got. We've got loads of things to mention tonight. And I'll be coughing the whole time.
Are we allowed to talk about that thing with the... Do you know the thing that Jethro's working on? To do with our website? That Bex is trying to get to do?
Yes.
Are we allowed to talk about that yet?
If you give me a chance. Get around to it.
I don't know. That's why it's been cryptic.
Tonight's stream. No. Right. So we've got a bunch of links for you. I think we're supposed to disperse these throughout the stream. So we'll start with the top one, because that's the easy one. That is a link to the season pass of Talisman on Steam. So you can buy this game, all its content and all its future content for X amount of your currency. And if you click the link in the chat, yeah, it's that way. You can do that. Or you can look at it. I don't know. Do what you want. There'll be more links coming. What else should we mention? I've also got nothing to do.
We released the patch recently, we could talk about that.
Okay.
What was in the patch? I know we had that crash fix for Polish.
Yeah, so in Polish, we had this thing where in the text files we used for the visible text in game, so what you read on a card, we have a command which is %s.
Yeah.
And typically that'll draw the strength of an enemy or the craft of an enemy, or a set value that can fluctuate.
It's like algebra.
Yeah.
So you have a letter symbol that is a number that's mythical somewhere. Let's say. Bye phone, and that would query it from the game. But unfortunately, because that was a bit mucked up when it queried it from the game after it came out through our translations, because languages are different. Someone took the two variables, turned them around, because that's how language works sometimes. You have to turn two things around to make the sentence make sense in the same way.
Yeah. So it made more sense in Polish for it to be number blah 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 rather than blah 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 number.
Yeah, but in this case there was two numbers, otherwise it would have been fine.
Yeah.
So instead of it being XY, it was YX. And you can't do that. That will make our game crash. And that was the cause. So basically we didn't test it enough on Polish. It's our fault.
It's Nomad fault. It's name and shame. 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 That made a pleasant clang. It doesn't do anything. Everyone's checking the link out, but it's empty.
It's.
We'll moan it back then.
We just get told to do it.
Yeah, I've got an email full of. Yeah, right. Let's try the next one then.
The big announcement tonight is the giveaway next Thursday. Shh. Oh right, sorry. That's for later.
Yeah, that's the money one. It's not money. Try that link. That link's to Fighting Fantasy Legends. Well, near enough everyone here has won it.
Good game.
Because they're all cheap and won't give us money.
It's a good game. I enjoyed it.
They just sit in our streams and wait for free things.
Scroungers.
Scroungers.
Seems mean.
For anyone that's looking to win anything tonight, we'll be doing our typical 3-prize draw at the end. The way to enter that is to leave a comment in our Twitch stream. So that comment can be anything that you would like. It can be a full stop, you can say hello, or you can actually come and chat to us. And if you do, anything that you say automatically puts your name in the hat. If you leave and come back, your name remains in the hat. The only thing that will stop your name being in the hat is when I inevitably accidentally close it and break the hat. Then we have to start again. Hopefully, this will be the first stream that I don't do that.
It's not allowed to. I'll make sure.
And I've taken precautions to prevent myself from doing that.
I've got a stick and I'll beat him with it if that happens, for your amusement. Is the audio loud? I usually find it is quite loud on when I watch these streams. Maybe we should turn it down a bit.
There we go.
Put it on like 20 or 30 maybe.
They can let us know if this.
Alright.
Hi, Neo Gambit.
Hello, Neo Gambit.
Paulin says, I'll give you a hint, Steve. It starts with W.
There's a ballsy game of Darius Leprechaun going into the dungeon that early.
Oh yeah? Just on that comment, we've discovered that the AI started doing that.
Yeah.
AI is 50-50 on whether it's going to do a dungeon run immediately. That has been caught and will be addressed in the next patch.
There's a good reason behind it. It's not like...
What, it doesn't want to live?
No.
Go into the dungeon.
There was sort of this ancient bit of code in the AI from a long, long time ago, where the AI would avoid going into the dungeon because the deck was more dangerous. That got turned off because of a crash fix. That's how the engine works. Everything's connected to everything. Yeah. So I've rewritten the whole thing, but a cheaper version. I'll do a proper version for the next expansion. And that'll go out live in the next patch. I censored myself there. I could have gone on to one of my things where I go into massive detail and Gareth's eyes glaze over. He gets really bored.
Yeah. That's the one, like, do you want to go for lunch? And Richard's like, the weather today is very Shakespeare about it.
It's a thespian. I'm a thespian.
Yeah. It begins with T.
I don't get it.
Also, all of the expansions typically are the something.
Yeah, they are.
You're right.
I'm really, really tired. I'm sorry I'm not my usual eccentric self. There was a lot of thinking today. Oh, whenever we start a new expansion, it really tires us programmers out. Gareth, Jethro and it's the same. Shell of a man.
Has been since he was like 16.
That's true. He's not really a very vocal person anyway.
We
It'd be interesting if it worked the other way around. So slowly he drains my eccentricness and Jethro became eccentric.
That'd be
And then I was the one that became mute.
I'd like that.
But so we both end up in the middle of normal people.
We go to a restaurant once a month as the kind of like juniors from the company, just as like a team building thing. And when Jethro orders, it's funny.
Yeah.
Because we go there often enough that the waitress leans in. And he's going, I would like the bear. She's like, what?
To the poor lady, it doesn't speak English perfectly anyway, and then having to hear it through Jethro's mumbles is a challenge.
Yeah. I remember once when all the programmers were in the same room. There was like 8 or 9 of us, and Jethro was making a very salient point about something in the code and why we should do this instead of that. And a window was open and a car drove past. And the noise of the car driving past forced everyone to lean in at the same time.
When we do have those programmer meetings, have you seen how Rob tends to just always move closer to Jethro?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fine, if you just tell him to repeat himself twice, the 3rd time it will be loud enough.
Yeah. He'll yell and you'll finally be able to sort of hear him. I'll take 4 lives. Luminous Blasting is doing wonders for us.
It's a good card. You should definitely head off into the Highland, assuming that the event sticks around. Oh, good.
It's daytime,
I would risk it on a roll at 50-50.
5's not bad. Hey!
Oh, poor Jethro.
I don't know what they are.
Well,
I'm not hitting them.
that appears to be a cabbage.
That is a sack cabbage, and that's sack. I use sack like emoji or something.
Well, Sack would be the person that created the emoji.
Right.
And cabbage probably only has context in his chat. So we're losing a bit of that. The crying emoji is self-explanatory, and I won't go into too much detail. He's upset.
Yeah, we're not playing with the dungeon characters, which isn't really noticeable. It's easier to notice when you're not playing with the expansion itself. But we've pretty much outlawed the Alchemist.
Didn't you turn the city off, or was it dungeon?
No, it's dungeon characters.
Highland you turned off, sorry. That's not the Alchemist doing.
Oh yeah, Highland.
Yeah, Highland. I knew it wasn't the dungeon one. Yeah, it was Highland.
That's what I meant to turn on.
You know what, now we'll never know.
We could check the rules.
I don't think it's in the house rules.
Ah, right.
Pepe. It's a Pepe. If your meme knowledge is well enough.
If you have good, strong meme game.
It's just a very famous sad face.
This chair keeps coming back. I'm just gonna end up taking the screen down.
Unban Nomad boy. Unban Nomad boy. I mean, it's entertaining to see Gareth chasing after him. Second, you put a stranger. Just put a stranger in the room with him because he goes dead quiet and shy.
We'll do a 4-man stream. We'll have me, Danny, and Ethan, and then just a random person sat there to make Ethan shy and scared.
I was there. I get it because when I was 3, whenever a stranger showed up, I was like. So.
I was like that until I was about 14.
You know, we've got like 15 members of Nomad in the office. Just get one of them one by one.
Yeah.
And whenever he starts getting a bit hyper, just like, come in, sit down for 5 minutes and go back out.
He's also terrified of dogs, so maybe we'll get Inky to stay in.
Why is he terrified of?
Because he's an idiot. I don't know.
Yeah, we have an office dog, Inky. She is cute and slobbery.
She's alright.
In Don's words, she's a scavenger. The bins are her domain.
Can I? Yeah, let's go take on the Barthrax token. Give me a nice, strong enemy.
Seems like a good plan. Alright.
The
problem is he's going to be buffed.
Is it on 5?
Yeah, I would say. Unfortunately, you are not neutral. So you should have 12 now.
I'm happy to waste 1 point. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Right, what else is going on? We've got an AMA tonight on Reddit.
We do?
Yeah.
Cool. Who's doing it?
Me.
Oh.
So I'm doing this, driving home, having the football on the side. Is my phone charged?
We could do it in work hours. That would make more sense.
It's 9 o'clock though, because it's a full Games Workshop licensee collective thing. So it's people across the planet.
Alright, fair enough.
I'm at 43%, I'll get some football out of that.
I'm an avid Redditor.
So if you go to reddit.com/r Games Workshop VG. So the link is in. Oh, I'm under duress. I've been assassinated.
Yeah, and he can only take a life off you. Unfortunately, that is your life. You need that. That is a bad thing. Oh dear.
I've got to get to the church. I'll start using up fate to try and get there. Yeah, if you go to the link in the chat on Twitch, is anyone at YouTube? No. Yeah. I'm somewhere in between Facebook and Reddit. I don't really interact with people on Facebook.
I can't stand Facebook. It's essentially an ad feed. It's about 50% ads, 50% things that I want to see from people. Not that interested in ads or people, so.
Yeah.
It's getting cocky.
So yeah, over on reddit.com/Games Workshop Video Games or VG, the link's in the chat. 9 PM UK time, which is currently BST, so that's something like 5 o'clock Eastern and 3 o'clock Central, I think.
Twitter is very talk to strangers. I don't know. It seems like a place for politics to slowly devolve into 140 characters.
Yeah.
The social media has done so much damage to our attention spans.
Games did mine in. That's why I can't pay attention to anything.
I can't not do something. I get so bored when I'm not doing like 2 things at once at home. I mean, I'm usually playing 2 games at once, always.
I'm Siege. Siege.
If I'm reading, I'm playing a game on the side. If I'm coding, I'm listening to music.
Alright, what else have we got? I normally do the ad blast in one go, but I've got a load of links to give out. Tonight's stream.
You should probably do the big announcement for the thing.
Right, the big announcement. Right, the last point, I'm talking about special effect. That's a good segue, Richard. Good shout. Right, so special effect. Fighting Fantasy Legends will it get a Spanish translation in the future? Maybe. So
every translation is on the table. Just need enough
people.
If you want it, go to the support Nomad Games. Just email us through our website
or social media, so Facebook or Twitter. If you are a Spanish speaker and you want our games in Spanish, harass us. If enough people harass us, it shows that it's worth doing it.
As soon as enough people have said that they will do it, the number of people saying that they want it will outweigh the cost of people saying, not saying anything, I suppose. And it goes up over the point of how much translation costs, and at that point it's only win-win for us. It's very easy to ask for.
Unless you want to do it yourself. Translate it, we'll stick it in.
Would they?
No.
No.
It's not that simple.
Yeah. I didn't know our English fans were that public.
Oh yeah, I don't know why I'm typing to you, Darius, I can just talk.
Yeah.
As a leprechaun, go to the forest repeatedly, get rich, go to the city, get flail and spellbook.
Download the Woodlands expansion. Oh wait.
Go terrain galore, forest.
Yeah. There's tons of forests in the Woodlands expansion. There's also, you can get certain quests that make it much easier to land on woodland stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big announcement.
Not quests, they're paths.
Special Effect.
Yes.
Right. Special Effect is a charity that Nomad Games supports. We have a character that's currently on display at the bottom of... Wait, my head's blocking her. It's the Shaman, currently being played by Cheshire Catgirl. And the Shaman character was created for a special event that Special Effect did. And all money... the money that people pay to buy the Shaman character, all proceeds go to Special Effect. And we've so far raised about £12,000
Off one character?
off one character.
Wow.
And hi mum. Yeah.
It's only like £2 as well, isn't it? So that's like a lot of £2.
I think it's optional, so it's like 79p upwards, so people can get it for as cheap as they want.
Oh.
Well, 79p.
I assume there's been a lot of generous people then.
Yeah. It's like there's loads. I think the average purchase is like a tenner because people just donate to charity.
It's a good cause.
Yeah, so what Special Effect does is they are a company or a charity that develops tech for people with disabilities. So if you have no hands, for whatever reason, if you were born that way, if you a horrible car accident, if you were in the military, Special Effect have developed controllers that don't require hands.
You can play with your eyes, can't you?
I've seen Rocket League play with eyes, so people have there's like just this device. You stick your head in it tracks your eyes, so you can use your eyes to control and boost your car, and it's brilliant. I've seen chin controls, feet controls, and they use all sorts of tech to make games more accessible for everyone.
One step away from thinking and doing.
Yes.
The future is now.
So they're a charity that we work quite closely with. Like I said, all the proceeds from the Shaman above me go to Special Effect, but they also periodically have special events that we join in. Next week, I think it's Friday of next week, they are running an event called One Special Day. It should be on the calendar behind there.
I'll have a look. You keep going.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Don't put it on the street. Don't say anything.
I know.
Is there anything on the back? No, the back's alright. Special Effect, Special Day. I'm sure one special day. Yeah, I'm right.
29th of September.
And I think they did one last year, and what they do to promote the event is not Facebook, eBay giveaways. So if you go to eBay, there's loads of people that work in tandem with Special Effect. Come on, 6. We're safe at least.
Gone back to full health now, so.
Yeah. So what you can do to support Special Effect, if you go to eBay, there's loads of game companies that work in tandem with them. So what we're doing is we have loads and loads of exclusive fighting fantasy stuff.
Sorry, you keep going. Right.
Oh,
Swag.
dungeon accessories,
Swag.
some nice dice,
Yeah.
badges,
Stop.
some characters.
Put it on my head. Balance. Oh, keep going. There we go.
There we go. More books. Yeah, there's all sorts of things. So if you just pretty much Google Special Effect One Special Day. Next week we are doing a big donation to their eBay thing. I've got it. It's
everywhere.
all in my crotch.
Oh no.
Oh, they're not in my
Oh,
crotch.
God.
They've gone.
You don't want them anymore.
No, they're higher value now.
They will be thoroughly cleansed.
Hi, fingers.
And the strongest amount of bleach we have possible.
Just ask the cleaner. That's all she uses.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So the big announcement, on top of all the things that we're donating to the Facebook eBay giveaway, the charity auction, next stream we do next Thursday, we are giving away a copy of Talisman Digital Edition, the base game, so it proves doesn't apply to you lot that are already talking. You've already won them all. To anyone that turns up.
A good link from Hammer Time too. Hammer Time 82.
Thank you, Hammer.
You missed everything, Dang.
Everything, all the important stuff.
Everything.
In fact, I've probably got a link, maybe.
One special day. Yeah. Google.
Yeah, it may be the same link hammer time, but use R1. So that way, keep pointing that way because it's on my right, it's that way. Yeah, and that'll take you to the one special day. Bish, you're alive! He lives in Houston.
Tough time right now.
Yeah.
We were supposed to have a storm. It had a name, Aileen. Do you know what happened with our storm? We had a bit of rain. Bit overrated.
There was a little bit of wind.
There was amber ratings. We were like, oh god, there'll be flying bins. Strap down your children, they'll fly away. You know, typical British gloomness, hoping for the worst because it'd be something entertaining to talk about tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, nothing happened. It was a bit of rain. It wasn't even biblical. I've had worse on a Wednesday. Just any old Wednesday. It's like, oh, it's raining fairly hard today. It was boring. Yeah. Aileen. Storm Aileen. Aileen, whatever. It's a terrible name. I can't even pronounce it.
Sorry to all the Eileens watching.
This is why we need Brexit.
This is because Brexit's happening.
Yes.
It's God showing us that he doesn't
Oh
want
no, you're going too deep. We'll get in trouble.
Anyway, special effect charity. Follow the link that I've just put up, the Google link. That'll take you to one special day. And there's also a link for the shaman, which I shall go and retrieve now.
Oh no.
Oh no, there we go. So if you've never used the shaman character, there it is there. I'll stick it in YouTube in case anyone pops along.
Be nice and just click the link once and we'll love you. So now you've got to talk about the really big thing.
Yeah, I did that. We're giving away a copy of the Talisman base game to every user that comes along, every Twitch or YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, it's YouTube as well.
Sum it up then, because I've forgotten it 3
Right.
times.
Next Thursday, to support one special day, we'll be giving away a base game of Talisman to everyone that turns up.
Do it.
For like 24 hours.
If you already have one, give it to your friends.
Yep.
Easy.
So next stream, I think we've done one previously. We'll give out a password exclusive stream. Stream exclusive password. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
better way of wording it. Gooder.
I think the way we're gonna do it is you go to our website, but it's
Yeah.
still in the wind at the moment. But
Next Thursday, we'll give you a link. You go to it, and it'll ask for you an email address, your Twitch or YouTube name, and then the password that we set on the stream, and then we'll email you a copy of Talisman, the base game.
I will warn, don't try and cheat it because you won't end up getting the key. There's like a thing in place that catches it, and we don't want you to not get your key.
Yeah.
So we love you. We don't want you not to get the key. That would be a shame. Because we had some people that put in they filled in the form incorrectly and did a query check and they didn't end up getting the keys the last time we did something like this, and then we had a bunch of people complaining.
We had last time we did a major giveaway. We had like people claim 5,000 keys in one go and then go and stick them on Gleam sites.
Yeah.
But this time around, we are in control, and we will ensure that everyone who wants a key gets a key.
It queries it really properly now, so you have to make sure you fill it out correctly because it stops people like that try and game the
ruin
system.
it for everyone
They
else.
do ruin it for everyone.
Oh, that's not great.
Hello, Sapakosa?
You can do it.
Yeah.
Sapakosa, hello.
Words.
What's the key for?
Talisman base edition. Just
Yeah.
the Talisman game on its own.
Which you probably already have, but
You can give it to a friend or sell it. But yeah, the idea is we just want to give one away so everyone gets some looking at the charity, right? It's for charity awareness, isn't it?
hammer time, be careful. Family friendly stream, please. Ish.
I don't know. It's one of those jokes you have to be an adult to understand. Or a teenager.
Right, so we've got a list of all the things that will be going on eBay for one special day that we're donating. Fighting Fantasy and Gamebook themed mega bundle, including a 30-minute Skype call with Ian Livingston.
Oh shit. Oh damn it.
That's £1.
Ah.
We've got a special effects charity thing coming up.
I really like him. I like the content he has created over the years. So I was pretty impressed by that as a
We need one of you lot to keep a swear jar for us. So when we have a special effect charity event and we're like, go and donate your money, it'd be like, Richard owes £3. Amanda will owe the most because she's convinced one of the swear words aren't a swear word.
Which one?
Another word for derriere.
There's a lot of words for derriere.
A sweary one. That's that one, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice dodge on that one.
Cryptic.
Yeah. She keeps saying it. She always says it. She's like, what?
Is that a swear word?
Yes. Yeah.
Is that a swear word?
Vulgar slang, British. Yes. Yes, it is.
What does it say with an actual swear word?
What? Swear word. An offensive word used especially as an expression of anger.
That leads it to quite loose, doesn't it?
It is. You wouldn't want your kid saying it.
You might not. Well, depends on.
Hi, Talisman Island. And potty mouth.
Am I potty mouth?
Yeah, you're the one that's Mr. Sweary here, aren't you?
Only once today. Programming is a very swear orientated profession.
That's how you get the code working.
I saw a comic where it was the number of swear words you hear like per minute to depict on how good the code is. So there was like a graphic of if there was like 1 every hour, it was a good code, and if there was like 10 an hour, it was really bad code.
Gavin Darius took 3 lives off us with the Assassin Stranger.
He's just doing what is best, and that's a good move because we're the martyr.
Yeah.
We will remember though.
The North remembers,
and the forgetful remembers. Not to forget. It's a really complicated thing, not swearing.
It is.
Censoring your own language is hard.
So, I think I only owe £2 because there was a time I was talking about haggis to Amanda, and apparently I said it tastes like poop, but I didn't say poop.
Oh, you said the other one.
I don't even recall saying it. Like 5 minutes later, we started talking because Amanda swore, and everyone was like, "Well, you just swore," and I was like, "Eh? What?"
We'll have video evidence. So
There is video evidence, yeah.
I'm gonna put it on a loop and send it to everyone, including Danny, your wife. She'll know that you swear. She'll know, Gareth.
Right, I'm gonna reroll.
You can swear in Polish. We have a few hot words. Oof. Swearing in British does sound nicer. It's like
That's alright. That's alright.
There's that Matrix scene where one of the characters says that the reason why French is his favourite language is because he loves to curse in it.
I was about to go into a story about this. It's part of the reason why that isn't strictly true.
Okay.
I was at Warhammer Fest
Yes.
in Coventry, and we had loads of GW licensees there, and we had Man of War, we had Mordheim, we had Derp Studios were there, I think. We had a whole load of them, and there's a bunch of them that are French, and a bunch of them that are French Canadian. And I was talking to them, and I don't know how it came up, but they said cursing isn't really a thing in French because the English learn French curse words.
Yeah.
And we get excited by it. I think that's why I was talking about it. I was like, all I know is like these words, and they're like, yeah, they're not swear words. The French don't really have swear words. What the French have is phrases that can be insulting, and typically if you are angry and you want to curse, you insult the church. So depending on how long you'll rant against the churches depends on how sweary you are being in
Fair
French.
enough. That's interesting. Swear words probably are quite an English language thing, aren't they? Because probably something that we've really invented.
Yeah, we did invent words.
Or
I think that's an English thing.
I don't know, because swearing can... A lot of languages are very culture-based, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, and swearing is quite a culture-based thing as well.
You can't actually post the word it is. No swearing in our chat.
Oh my god, when I watch your streams and try to type stuff, 90% of the time has a swear word in it, and I get censored.
Yeah, how many times I'm looking forward to Gareth's home siege streams. See how much he swears. It's just all the time.
Yeah.
And it's everyone else's fault.
I raid a lot, and I can tell you being 0.5% off killing a boss is something that will provoke primal anger from the deepest parts of my soul that I did not know existed.
My siege thing is, can we say this one? Will I get away with saying that one?
I don't think it's a swear word. In my opinion, there's like 3 swear words, and one of them's the worst. But it sounds great because it's so undersaid because of how bad it is. It's got a shock factor, which makes it funny.
I think
Begins with a C.
Yeah, it's my favourite one. I like all the words with hard C's because they're very aggressive.
Yeah, exactly. Any chance of being able to select what characters the AI can be in a multiplayer game?
Yeah. Yeah. As long as you've not got random characters on.
I thought you could.
Yeah.
Maybe you can't. I don't know. Maybe you can't because there might be reasons.
Pull it in. Go to our Steam chat. I'll get the thread up. Where's Steam?
I didn't write any of that. It was that's all the networking stuff, isn't it? So it's not really my domain. And no reason I couldn't have a look at it though. You probably have a better chance of getting Jethro convinced to do it though.
Yeah, pull it in. Go to the link that I've just put in the chat. That is our current suggestions box, and we absolutely do intend to implement a few of those features.
We've already done one of them. People have been asking for the.
Richard, we may be
No.
out.
No.
We can't go.
Why did
that
you
way.
reroll?
Because I was trying to get to the chapel.
Yeah, but that's not worth risking dying.
What?
You heard me. Oh my god. I hate you. We had a guaranteed not gonna die, and then you
No,
just...
we did not.
What was it? We had like a 3, didn't we? And we would have gone to the. We could have gone there.
We could have gone there or there.
Yeah, we should have gone in then. Would have been safer. This guy. Guess we'll stick around for a bit. This is the earliest we've died, right?
No.
No.
I don't think.
I shouldn't have let him. This is. He's reroll trigger happy.
What? We needed to get to the chapel. We had one life.
It's not worth it. It's not worth
And everyone
risking.
at least no one gets €5 for it. No one claimed the bounty. We did it ourselves.
Richard will have a cheat code. Oh, I've got several cheat codes. I can type them in right now if you want.
Yeah, but then that'll put us in our own game.
Yeah, also it would drop us.
Yeah.
Because if you try and cheat in an online game, it will drop you from the game.
We've been, I'm sure you've all heard us talk about this, because I'm sure we've banged on about it. And, if you
can't even
fix
hack
that bug for you.
You can't even hack it. If you try and hack the game, it'll probably drop you as well. It's pretty fragile with
that. What are we giving away today? Anything you want?
It's got to win. Be the best like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test.
Can I actually say this, Lemmy?
Do you want to Google it?
Let's have a Google.
It's going to be great when like Rob checks the internet and he's like, what are these songs?
It's not the worst thing you'll find.
It's a restaurant. That is a restaurant on TripAdvisor.
In Krakla. Rockla? Let's try.
Roclaw.
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 What was it? Something Noga. Polish. Leg.
It's like mute. Mot.
Matila. Butterfly's leg. Matila Noga.
That's a dangerous thing to say. You go on, say that on the hood. Without a hood. Might get messed up. Talking about butterflies in the hood.
Someone's already warned us not to PewDiePie it.
Oh, he's gone through another controversy now.
Yeah.
He's like Kate Hopkins, but
I think he's doing it on purpose.
yeah, he's totally doing it on purpose.
definitely a
He says
publicity
something to provoke reaction. The difference is with Kate Hopkins, she's very good at doubling down, which makes her completely unlikable, and she becomes the wicked witch of the media. PewDiePie, what he does is he says something controversial, lets two groups of ideologies fight for a little bit, then apologises, and then both sides are happy. Because he does it in such a way that he doesn't make the argument from his own people sound, wrong, but he also tries to see it from the other side's perspective, and it's totally on purpose. Because he's been in mainstream media how many times now over this kind of thing? It's crazy. Give Chinese.
What?
All right, these aren't swear words.
They might be racist phrases though.
Oh, maybe.
Dutch Chinsky Prezedaka Judge.
You racist.
If this is like isolated and like this goes about the internet, look at this Talisman sweary racist person.
You racist. Propagating racism, that's what he's doing.
Right, Paul in, you're Aussie. So you don't know that's horrible in Polish, right?
So if we put Gareth and Nomad Boy in a room alone together with a knife, who would come out alive? Chat vote. Because I think Ethan would come out alive. Nomad Boy.
Dutch Chinese eggs dealer. I don't understand.
I think it is a racist term somehow.
It's just because it's got a nationality in it,
Yeah.
and I don't understand it. So
You'd be surprised the casual racism that comes. This might be slightly racist as well. But you'd be surprised the casual racism that just pops up in other languages. Like I read a lot of Chinese, translations of loads of different things, and you will get random casual racism.
You read the English.
Yeah, the English
of Chinese
translations,
things.
which usually have censored the more racisty parts, and then put in a little cliff note saying he's actually saying this and not putting that there. The views of this translator are not the views of the author. My girlfriend's from Indonesia, isn't she? She's half Indonesian, half English. She's from Indonesia, and there is a lot of casual racism between different Asian nationalities. So a lot of people.
I suppose it's like us and the Welsh and the Scottish and
But
the French to a degree.
Yeah, but a lot.
Well,
we sort of banter it, but there's not really a quite a bantery thing in Asian languages, from my understanding. If you insult someone, you're insulting someone. Whereas in Australia and Britain, insulting someone is a bonding thing.
Yes.
You know when you've got if you insult someone, it's sort of like, someone described this best to me. It's like throwing a rubber ball and then seeing where it hits, and you're finding out where the limit is for your sort of relationship. So if someone's offended by something, you say sorry quickly and realise you're actually not that close to them. But if they let you throw the rubber ball, you see where the glass is and how close it hits home to them. And if
You've never apologised to me.
No, and I won't.
You should.
Have I offended you or not?
I'm not going to bring it up now. But we've got a Slack history over.
Well, we debate a lot. I don't know if that's the same. Because we have different ideologies.
I thought there was too many L's in that.
Maybe. I'm offended.
my
I'm
ideology.
offended that you would say that, Gary. I'm sorry.
I don't really know where I stand on this, because I do support.
We're getting heavy. We're getting heavy.
Yeah, I support being politically correct.
Yes, and I don't.
I think all it means is be considerate.
No, I don't know. You have the right to say whatever you want. It's just everyone else has the right not to speak to you anymore about that, and they have the right to just ignore you, as long as you don't say anything which is, directly incentivizing violence. I think that you have free speech, so you can say whatever you want.
It doesn't like Firefly. I'm glad Watch died.
Firefly's great.
There you go. I said it. I said it and I mean it. I will not take that back.
Yeah, I watched Firefly, but then I didn't end up watching Serenity.
I watched Farscape.
Farscape's really good.
It is? Is that good?
It's got Claudia Black in it.
It's got Claudia Black. It's got Ben Browder.
She is the sexual awakening of a lot of young men.
I identify with that.
Well, if you go back 10 years before that, or maybe even not, because I was watching like reruns of Farscape, so I don't know how far back it goes.
It was late 90s.
90s. So yeah, that's when I was born. So maybe that's about right. But you know, if you go back far enough, it's like the sexual awakening was the golden bikini.
In Bond?
No, in Princess Leia from.
Yeah.
So you've got every generation sort of sexual awakening. Although I think there's quite a few through the 90s, but everyone else probably has a lot. I just remember the golden bikini one.
We've been linked to an XKCD comment. Always a good thing.
Public right to free speech means the government can't press. What are you saying?
Yeah.
Yes. It's the American version.
It is entirely right. Everyone has the freedom to say what they want, and everyone has the freedom to react.
If you're not incentivizing violence, I don't care. Like if someone says we should,
mine was last Tuesday.
Everyone's saying we should line up the gingers and shoot them. Then I think maybe they're going a bit far. And then if they're specifically calling out to a group to do it, they have crossed the line and should probably be arrested. You're ginger, so I thought that I would relate to you.
Hit her.
Rubber ball.
There's no defined awakening anymore.
Yeah. It's all over.
Let's give you another link. Oh, that's done right. Dragons! The Dragon expansion! Ba ba ba!
It's we've done this one already.
No, we've not done this one.
You probably automate this, you know.
Hi, Marlene!
Hello.
He's strawberry blonde. My favourite thing, one of my favourite things that I ever overheard is when I used to work in a call centre, we were all on pods which were octagons.
Yeah.
So there was 8 people to a desk. And I overheard people bickering about which is better, Runcorn and Witness. Being from Frodsham, I think they're both as bad as each other. And
It does.
I wouldn't want to live there.
It sounds like a really pedantic argument.
They're two sides of the same coin. They're very awful, poor coin that no one would want in the pocket.
What's better, this cardboard box or this cardboard box?
I heard someone kind of go, don't listen to him, he's strawberry blonde. He says he's strawberry blonde, he goes, no, I'm not, I'm strawberry ginger. I was like,
I remember being in year 3, and I remember there was some sort of game with hair colours, and so the teacher, like, I think it was like you had got to do something when, I can't remember it specifically that well, but if she said a hair colour, you got to go do something, and then I think it was like deciding the order or something. So someone said strawberry blonde, and someone got up and went, and I was like, am I strawberry blonde? I like strawberries, and I'm blonde. So I got up.
Is that how this works?
I didn't know what strawberry blonde meant back then. I was young and stupid, naive. Just good times.
I used to think that hazel eyes were brown.
Oh, they're not.
Is that the misconception I had? Hazel eyes.
That looks like brown to me. Light brown. That's what my girlfriend says. Colour up.
There's like yellowy, browny, greeny thing. That person's got cat's eyes. That's weird.
Those are a bit browner though. So that's like a green-brown mix, I suppose.
Yeah, I thought they were just straight up brown, and I thought that for years because the teacher told me that when
I've
I
got
was
like
young.
really
Not
light
mine.
blue eyes, and then I've got like webs in them. I've got like webs, grey webs.
Oh, green eyes.
I know. They stare at me all night. Anything else we're supposed to talk about?
I think that's it. I think we've covered all bases. What am I doing? AMA. AMA at 9 PM, so in like 2 hours, 3 hours.
Who do you think is going to win this game then, by the looks of it?
Well, Cheshire Cat Girl. She's in the game, so there you go.
I don't know. Man. She lost against you, so that's kind of all the credit gone.
No, she lost against the Alchemist. She didn't lose against me.
Well, that is enough, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yostromo miniature. Where's that one? One of our things is a Yostromo miniature.
Yes, Tromo.
Yostromo. I like miniatures. That's not a miniature.
It's also in French.
That does not help. Yeah, I like this stuff. Like, this stuff's awesome. I like play D&D sometimes, and this kind of thing would be awesome.
Did I tell you that I played Quest? Warhammer Quest.
No, what's that? I've not heard of it.
It's
Like D&D
like,
Warhammer.
yeah, it's like a more formal D&D. Didn't enjoy it. Didn't have fun. It was too strict. It was like, this is your character, this is what it does. Draw your... I was the wizard. So I drew a spell and that was my spell for the game. And I was like...
That does not sound fun at all.
There was no like room for me to go, I am the magical wizard of Oz! I am now doing all this!
I recommend if you do play Spellcaster, you should probably play Sorcerer then. Because wizards are very sort of calculated, and they get as strong as later on.
I'd be a rogue assassin.
Rogue assassin.
Because that's what I was in WoW.
Yo yo.
It's also,
edgy.
Also what I do on Skyrim and Oblivion is I just go around
Yeah, but
with
that's because it's just the most fun way to play.
I just sneak with a bow and then I go bing.
Like whenever I play...
Just falls over.
the first time I played Skyrim, I actually tried to mix
See you in a
it up. I did try and mix it up, because normally I do like... I always play a stealth assassin with a bow. So I was like, alright, I'm going to get a great sword, and I'm going to start hitting things. And I always thought, I'll hold back. And it was terrible. It's a terrible tactic.
My very first Oblivion, I think I went like a Nord or a Breton. And I thought I'd go a heavy hitter and run in with a sword.
It just doesn't work.
It just doesn't work.
And like, you've got to do so much just to get it to work that you might as well just play the more fun way of doing it, which is be a stealth assassin. Or a stealth mage, which is also the same, just with fire.
I can be stealth mage.
You stealth, and then you throw a fireball.
Cheers! I could never figure out that.
So there's illusion. So there's an entire school dedicated to not being seen.
I would put with bows you can take out everyone before they know anything's happening.
Yeah, you can do that with spells as well.
Alright, fair enough.
Like also spells, like you can do the double casting, and that lets you like stun enemies.
Yeah.
So you can go like double cast, and then the enemy gets knocked down a bit, and then you just spam them like that, and they can't get up.
That's what I do to increase my overall level, because I'm at 100 with archery.
Yes.
I've got every few hits will paralyze someone, so I paralyze them with my bow, and then I just get out one-handed or get that up to whatever. Then I start working on two-handed.
Gets to the point where you can make a dagger so overpowered, one hit and they're dead every time. Just to do it for yourself.
I'm currently working on enchanting as well.
Yeah, if you get, I think if you do like max bow, max stealth, max enchanting, and max blacksmithing, you're probably close to max level already. And then maybe get speech for some extra fun times.
I'm at level 49. Oh, Neo Gambit wants option to remove cards from play, deck editor, and Shiver Nymph. What's the problem with Shiver Nymph in our game? Doesn't it get stuck on the Eagle King?
It can do. But I think the problem is that people just don't like it because it essentially means your turn ends. So it's like saying you draw that card and any cards behind it you don't get to encounter, and then it moves on one. But if it ends up on the Eagle King or on the Lord of Darkness somehow, yeah, you don't get to encounter that ever because it moves clockwise.
I was playing the physical game with a few friends a few weeks ago, and it says move counterclockwise.
Oh,
which is not out. Which is out of the region, isn't it? So how to get stuck on Eagle King?
I have no idea. I'm unsure.
Because when we were doing it, we played it, and I was like, aha, this is what happens. We've got big complaints in the digital game. Everyone in the community. Hold on a minute. You going the other way? Like, doesn't everyone get the Shiver Nymph stuck on the Eagle King, and then no one can encounter it?
It must be counterclockwise as the Eagle King way. It must be.
But that's arrows forward. I would assume counterclockwise would be against the arrows.
I'm unsure now. I'll have to look it up. You ask me tomorrow when I'm
Hi,
awake.
Ash.
I've been rule debating with Jethro all day. Too many rules.
If you do not have it, you must get it. Dragon expansion is worth to get it. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, a lot of work went into it. I know you want the option to remove cards from play, like from a game like a deck editor. I don't think it's going to happen though. We're looking into it.
It's unlikely, but the link that I put in the chat before, which I'll throw back in, was Talisman Workshop, which is where you go and put whatever features, house rules, this and that you want to see in the game.
There are some major problems with doing it, and there are some major problems with the fact that not enough people want it. And there needs to be a lot of people wanting it to warrant the doing of it. And we're not really sure it's worth it. We have like time. We have to justify everything. And we have to. We can't. Like, we can do easy stuff like that character thing. And that stuff obviously would have cost the company some money to put together. but it was quite easy to do. So we can do these like quick free things with an update with some extra stuff. But to do that deck editor thing would be a huge job, which would require tons of testing, and might mean that if people use it, we have to drop support for them and stuff like that because of all sorts of reasons. It gets messy.
And it also runs a chance of splitting the online community as people join games and go, I don't like the setup.
I mean, that already happens as well.
Yeah.
Like we are trying to do stuff like we're like making house rules into endings instead. Adding. We keep trying to improve it. We're trying to look because there's so many things that we have to do now because there's a lot of cards coming up that affect value instead of like life. Like let's say your life value is -1, for example, or your life value.
Would this be giving away what we're working?
No, it's in a bunch of stuff that we're coming up for in the future. I'm not saying we're working on it now at the moment or not. It's just something we're thinking. One of the rules.
Like Dark Fate. Dark Fate makes you and Jeffo cry.
We can talk about that without giving away that we may or may not be doing it.
You just have to be very aware that it's going to have to happen.
So, there are lots of cards that say that they affect life value, and that clearly doesn't affect the number of life you have. That affects the number of life you can or can't have. So if you have -1 life, your current life on your character would be -1, or if it was +1, it would go from a 3 to a 4 or a 3 to a 2, which affects you or your healing and your well, it really only affects healing life.
Yeah.
But how do you represent that when we've only got these numbers to play with? There's not that many, are there? So we were thinking about having like a out of number. So if you have like a 4 out of 4 or a 3 out of 4, depending on how many you've got. But it's a lot of wasted space, and it gets really chunky. Also, people have asked for us to have the number of items you can have as a number out of. It's the same thing. It's not going to look clean or smooth, and it's UI-wise, it's not going to look good. So we're thinking of maybe putting like an advanced option in where you can turn it on for an in-detailed map sort of number view. But if you do, it's going to look a little bit uglier. Of course, everyone's just going to put it on there. Yeah. So I'm happy with the tab thing that we've got there going at the bottom, and that's very expandable.
Yes.
Yeah. That tab at the bottom.
Remember when we were in this game?
It was a long time ago now. I've forgotten.
You need a nap now. I'm tired.
We can have one on stream. I don't think people would mind. Yeah, we can do it on the character card. The problem is it takes 2 clicks to get there, and that it would show up on the character card probably if we did do it that way. I think at the moment it does anyway. Like, that goes on 2 life, right? So if I click that, yeah, it says it does show up on the character card.
No, that's the value.
Yes, that is the value.
So that's just the character card.
Yes, but if we minus or plus the value, it would already show up on the character card, because that's how our logic would work. So if we did do it that way, it would already show up on the card. It's just one of those things that we're just not happy with visually, and it doesn't. When you potentially double all those numbers up, it's even more intimidating to a user, isn't it?
We're doing a giveaway. What time are you at till?
20 past. That's when the list comes.
Oh, we're at 10 past 6. Should we do giveaway?
Yeah, let's do it now. Then we can have a talk to people while we're giving it away.
Right. Let's have a look at the hats.
You seem tired.
I am. I'm ill.
It's been a long day.
It's been a long day.
You're
Long
ill.
day's long.
You get a meal.
What?
You get a meal as well with you being ill. Is it contagious?
It's an illness. Yeah, it's cold.
I nearly swore at you.
Yeah, right. So we've got a bunch of people here. 24 names in the hat. Let's take Jethro out.
Somebody should get me one of those masks.
Right, anyone that's watching that is yet to leave a comment, if you go to our Twitch chat and say hello, hi, how are you doing, whatever you fancy saying, that will enter your name into the hat, the mythical hat, and
you ever put on that? I know you'll get a chance at rolling on the content we're trying to give out. Have you ever tried to put on the zombie mask?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Zombie Lord mask. It is the most unhygienic thing ever. It's so sweaty. I was just having flashbacks. That's what, if I looked like my eyes were glazing over, it was me having a flashback to the one time I put that costume on. So anyone else that does, Michael, very brave man, who will consistently put that suit back on like a trooper. Like I couldn't do it myself.
You weren't there, man. You weren't there.
You've tried it on, right?
I've tried it on, but I was like, I don't like this, and I took it off.
Well, we did it for the you know these things that like sound like a good idea and then you actually do them and it's not. It turns out like attracting people in a zombie lord mask to come to a stall and then not being able to speak to them is a very awkward thing.
John was very good at it.
I suppose maybe you've got to have that charisma.
Yeah.
For me being put in the mask drains that all away and I'm left with nothing but awkwardness. I kept opening my book and then giving them a leaflet and then walking away.
It's like, bye.
Yeah.
Hats, right, everyone's here, I think. Need energy. Need caffeine.
I'm just gonna... where is it? Oh, I don't know where it's...
Alt tab.
Oh,
You just done it? You can't see far. There you go. Windows tab's very nice to look at as well.
Alright.
I like doing Windows tab.
I'm gonna press that button.
You're gonna press the button?
I'm gonna press the button.
Hold on. Right, anyone that's watching on Twitch, if you want to be in a chance for winning any of our content, typically for these giveaways, we have Fighting Fantasy Legends, Talisman, any of its expansions, Horus Heresy, any of its expansions, Blackland Solitaire, Backgammon Blitz. I think that's all we're doing.
I like
Yeah.
backgammon.
If your name is pulled out of a hat, you win one of our things of your choice. And we also celebrate the death of the gamer Darius. Yes. He deserved it. He had it coming.
You did.
Yeah.
He's probably why we died.
So if you want a chance of winning any of our stuff, just leave any form of comment in the Twitch chat. I like the fact that Thulsa Doom has just said hat.
25 different people.
Yeah. Anyone we should take out? Gambit always wins.
You could take out Danny, I suppose.
No, I've got to let Danny have a chance of winning, otherwise she'll be angry with me.
Alright. Nepotism. I see how it is.
Yeah. Right, we're gonna...
I've done it.
Oh. Who's that?
It's just gone offline, I think. Oh no, it doesn't let you win. So
Are you here, Behenix?
Behenix. That's
It's
how
like
it's.
Phoenix, but with a B.
Yes. You might want to go to the chat. Oh, you have the chat.
Yeah.
I'm really tired.
So.
Congratulations, B Phoenix.
There's no P.
B.
It's like Phoenix. Buenix.
This is really
Phoenix.
hard. I'm gonna call him Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I don't even remember. We must have ignored him.
Just quickly send him a message so he knows.
We will. Send message. Right.
That's all formal. Look at that. Get the chat box up. Something simple.
What are you on about?
I don't know.
Do you mean whisper to him?
Yeah.
But that means I have to find him?
Yeah. You do. Is he?
Has he responded yet? We normally give 3 things away, so that's our first. We'll do 2 more.
Well, just remember his name, I suppose.
Can we whisper? What does that do? Oh, that's his profile. Maybe he said hello like way back at the start and we were just like too busy talking nonsense.
Well, if he's there, you can come back and check with him later.
Yeah.
The chat's not going anywhere. Like, you might as well roll on the other people and then we'll figure it out.
We'll do them later. They've got to stick around. At 2 /W. Yeah, but then that means /
Oh, you can /whisper and then type his name. B Phoenix.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Today I learned.
Yeah. do the others. We'll get that.
No,
We're doing one at a time?
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We do it in like 15 minutes apart.
Oh, right.
We do it roughly around 6, around half 6, and then whenever we finish.
I'm going to miss the next 2.
Yeah. Sucks to be you.
Twitch expert is on my CV. That is a good thing to put on your CV. I think on my CV was playing D&D and Magic the Gathering.
Really?
Yeah. Not as like skills, as part of my biography.
I said that I was an English speaker, I think.
I tied them. You know, you sort of have your little personal bit at the bottom like you. You're supposed to. That's what we were told.
Mine's at the top.
We put the skills at the top. So you get qualifications, skills, languages, stuff like that, and then you do your little personal bit. And mine said I was play D&D.
That's what you cover letters for.
No.
There it is. Hello, I'm this person. I'm interested in your business, and I want to work here because my interests
Oh, yeah,
and talents
yeah.
and skills and qualities.
I send that with the CV. So it's part of the email.
Oh, Beanix! Beanix is here! You win!
Congrats.
Do you want a copy of Fighting Fantasy Legends, Talisman, the base game, any of its expansions, that Talisman Horus Heresy, any of its expansions, Blackland Solitaire, Backgammon Blitz? Do you want it for Steam, iOS or Android?
If you go to Steam and then look at one of our games and then click Publisher, which is us, Nomad Games, you can see everything that we have and then pick what you want.
Tom is fluent in memes. We have a lot of that here.
Yeah, I had Magic the Gathering on my CV because I mentioned how like I was learning some maths for programming and it actually helped me win a tournament.
Josh Cat kills nearly dead.
Yeah. I was playing the tournament and I was like a 50-50 between doing 2 things. So I did some quick maths on a bit of paper I had. And I was like, okay, it's 70% this, 30% this, and I gave it a 70% result, and I actually won because of that decision. I felt really proud.
No idea what you're on about.
That's okay. Well, it's also helped me win poker, maths.
I'm good at poker. Should I have a Nomad poker night?
We should, with maximum gambling. What?
Not maximum.
Maximum.
No.
All the money.
I've got a poker set, so we'll have chips and there'll be a buy-in. We do like 20 quid each, and there's 5 of us. Winner gets 100 quid.
100 quid.
Although normally I do second place gets money back, first gets the rest.
That's pretty fair. I think you can do like Swiss, which is like everyone gets something.
Nah, just runner up gets money back.
It would be the idea is the Swiss, everyone gets something, but not a lot. But usually you have to be past, depending on how big the tournament is, you have to be past a certain threshold to get something back.
Yeah.
But the idea is like when you do Swiss style is the top winner doesn't have as much prizes but still has the best, and everyone else sort of gets spread out depending on how much they want prizes.
Go hard or go home. That's what I reckon.
I agree.
Enjoy your lunch, Bish!
Which is why I won 18 packs that day on that tournament. Oh, you've won what you want.
It's Rita.
Huh?
It's the assassin. It's Baba.
Oh, is it him?
Yeah.
The Phoenix guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he killed you, essentially. It's his
No,
fault.
he didn't. I got my lives back, and then Darius,
right.
Darius the assassin, strangered me.
I still blame him for the bad juju.
Oh yeah, he put the bounty on my head, didn't he?
Oh yeah. Time to put bounty on his head.
Bounty on Baba's head. But everyone's got less. Wait, I suppose Caps is doing well. Pulladin's doing well.
We will not unban Nomad Boy until we can figure out the method for controlling his madness.
When we can tame him, then we will unban him.
It may require a professional with a whip and fire and a chair. I'm picturing you, like with a whip and a chair, forcing Ethan to jump through a hoop.
Oh, that sounds like the other way around. You'll have a chair and a whip. They're like, you're a child, stop doing it, put the chair down.
I'm picturing you in spandex.
I'm sure there's a picture of me in spandex somewhere.
I'm sure we can make one. Amanda's good artistically.
A frozen bounty bar.
Ooh.
It's in like an ice cream bounty. I've seen
Yeah,
that.
no, they're really nice.
You don't have the Dragons expansions? You do now. Let me go and get you a key, sir. Assuming you're a sir. You may not be. Mom. Mom. It's very English. Mom.
Dude.
It's American. Dude.
Dude. What's up?
Like,
dude?
totally, dude.
Oh my
American
God.
slash the Turtles from Finding Nemo.
No, he was Australian.
Was he?
Yeah.
He was just like generic surfer, dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
Which are usually Australians.
Are they?
Yeah, traditionally.
What? Surfers are traditionally Australian.
Yeah, it's the best place to go surfing.
UK has like Newquay and Newport.
It
And
does not have good places to surf. it's like oh, you should really come to Britain for the beaches.
You're right.
No, this is ridiculous. You don't come to Britain for the beaches, maybe for the castles.
We
Or...
have some nice beaches.
But no, we don't. No, we don't. We had some fossil beaches which were nice, but you can't have them anymore. No, can't hunt for fossils.
Yes, you can.
You can't.
I was in Weymouth like 3 weeks ago. It's the Jurassic
Yeah, but
coastline.
all the best ones are in the cliff, and if you dig into the cliff, you kill people.
You kill yourself because you go chip, 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 and then it goes on your head. And Don actually warned me not to do that because he said he did.
When I was a kid, I was digging into one that like this oil came out, and then I started sinking into it, and I was like,
I need to grow it up. I need to grow it up.
So I lost my shoe, but I managed to pull it back out. It was a fun day. Right, on that note, I'm off to get my bus before I'm stranded here.
Yeah, I can't bother taking you again.
Yeah.
Don't miss your bus. It's 20 past. It's due in what, 4 minutes?
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for having me. Have a
Bye.
good stream.
Cheers.
Ooh, stack shot.
Hey, you deserve it. Right, I will now be central. I will be central as I commentate on a game that I'm not part of anymore. That guy. Yeah, so that's Richard. If you ever want to chat to him, he is Desendos in the Steam forums. And he does a lot of programming, so he'll do card implementation, bug fixing. But his main passion with Talisman is AI. So if anyone remembers where the AI was at 2 years ago, where it was the elf trapped between two woods teleporting back and forth, and the AI to where it is today, and like the AI still has a lot of work to be done, but there's less of those facepalm moments. Oh, bye Darius. Yeah, I figured out how to do the green screen behind me. You have to put it at a rakish angle, so the light is different. I don't know, physics. Yeah, Richard does AI stuff. Ugh. And they're currently busy working on the next expansion, which is going superbly well. I've also gone ahead of myself because normally I'll stick the languages in just before we go into beta for anyone that wants to use it in their native language. But I've already done it. I did Italian today, and it's been a nightmare doing Italian, and Italian's probably going to be massively broken because we didn't have any PDFs of the physical card game, which is how we usually do the translations that we have in the game. So Talisman Island, John New, quite kindly opened his Italian copy because he's got every talisman under the sun, and he scanned them in for us, and then we used a program called OCR to take the images and pull the text from it. And when it did that, it didn't pull all the text, it didn't pull any of the characters, so I had to go through and fix it all. But the issue is, if the scan is slightly smudged or bad, and OCR can't tell if it's supposed to have an accent going left or right or that kind of thing. I don't speak Italian, so I also don't know whether it should. So if you are watching this and you are Italian, join the beta. We will need you. We will need your services. Have we played the original Talisman? I have not. It is copy and pasting, Steve. I'm getting better at identifying things because when I started, I used to have the English plus whichever I was working on at the time. But these days, I will use the English, get familiar with the images that are on the cards, and then I can then go into Italian, Polish, French, and German, and I can't remember which one's which. But now I'm also kind of getting used to sentence structure. So if I forget the image of a card, I'll look at the way that the card should be laid out. What are the key sentences in it, or key words like smoky, which is dragon in Polish, that kind of thing. I try and use mnemonic devices and markers. That way I don't have to constantly flip back into between English and whichever language I'm putting in the game. Hi, Renoff! Hi, Demon! IXIV? Does that make sense? That's like 95? Maybe I'm thinking too hard about your name. French, possibly. The beta, I'm not entirely sure when it'll open for the next expansion. But by all means, if you are in the beta and you are a native French speaker, please play the game in French. If you're a native Italian, Spanish, German, Polish speaker, please play the game in your language. And that way, when you are giving us feedback in the beta, you will say, this sentence should be phrased this way, or you've used the same title here and here, or you've missed the title and it's still in English. That's the kind of thing that goes to me, and then it's my job to fix. Rip Chesh, you're losing your touch. Demon X. Demonics. There we go. That makes sense. Who designs the actual expansions, Nomad or GW Originals? It's based on the original GW games. The Bob Harris game came out in 1983. GW redid it in 1987. There was then a third edition in the mid-90s somewhere. And then the fourth edition was in 2008, was done by Fancy Flight Games. So they did a lot of, they reused a lot of the old stuff that was already in existence. Obviously the main board, a lot of the characters, but they also designed some new expansions, I believe, and also some new characters. They reworked a lot of the old stuff that may not have worked as effectively as it could have. And Fancy Flight Games, keep saying games, the digital edition that we are currently playing, that we make, Nomad Games, we digitized the 4th edition, the Fancy Flight version. Although Fancy Flight have now ended their partnership with GW. So the future of Talisman should be interesting. On whether GW themselves, a third-party company like Fancy Flight Games, but not them, choose to continue the 4th edition, or whether we move into a 5th edition, whether it's the end of Talisman. Would be interesting to see where that goes. I know there's going to be a GW reprint, I think, so there'll be a special edition one, I think, at the end of the year. I think that was announced. As to where it's going after that, like I said, I'm not sure at least. I'm not sure what comes next for Talisman. Hi, Above Shadows! We'll go better next time. Yeah, the Sepulchral Spirit can be a tough one to deal with. No worries, Cat. Talisman Island. I'm glad John's here to fact check me. I will give you rough guesses. Look in the chat for the actual answer. Alright, for anyone that's late to the party, leave a comment in the chat to make sure that you're in a chance for winning any of our free content. Next week we'll also be part of a charity auction for Special Effect, a company that makes tech that allows people with disabilities to game to the same or to a level that is we take for granted. If you've got hands and fingers and you have a controller in your hand, you don't actually think about the ease of gaming and like how accessible gaming is to us. Like, my big complaint is I've moved on to PC for Siege, so like keyboard and mouse is just alien to me. Special Effect allow people with no hands to play games with their eyes, for people with certain disabilities to play games with a controller that is chin supported. I've seen people playing games with their feet. They're a fantastic charity, and Friday of next week there'll be an auction where loads of people, loads of developers will give content to Special Effect to auction off for one special day, the event that they're running next Friday. Thanks, Gambit. And do you still have 2 postcards up for grabs? Yes, we do. In fact, I'll talk about that after I finish my spiel here. I think the other thing to mention with one special day is next Thursday we'll be doing a giveaway to every user that turns up for our stream for a base copy of Talisman Digital Edition, the game that we're playing now. So if you already have it, give one to a friend. If you don't, just let us know. We'll have a link that'll go to our website where you can put in your email address, either your Twitch account or your YouTube account, so we can verify who you are to make sure people aren't claiming thousands of keys, because people have done that to us in the past. And we'll also have a stream specific password which we'll announce next Thursday, and I think we've got something like 10,000 copies of the game that we can give away. So let people know if you want to get your friends interested in it, but they can't be bothered spending £4 on a game they don't like the look of, but you want them to. Tell them to come, they'll get a free copy. Any hope for an old Talisman Timescape expansion, Grimwald? No. We never say never. When we finish working on the 4th edition, the future of Talisman, like I said, I don't know what's going on with it physically. When we finish it digitally, what comes next is a very good question. So Timescape may be on the cards, it may not. It's not for me to decide, but it would be interesting. Yeah, so the postcards that we've got, I think they're in the other room. If anyone wants to look at the postcards, let me know and I'll go and grab them. But we are considering doing giveaways for follower/subscriber milestones. So we're playing with the idea of at 1,000 followers, we'll give away a full season pass for Talisman. So that is every bit of content we own that's Talisman related, and everything we will work on you will get for free. At like 750 we'll do one of the postcards, and it won't be like the 750 of follower, it'll just be when we get to 750 the next stream we do, we'll put one up for grabs. Those kind of things. That's not set in stone at the moment, so it may not happen, but that is what we're thinking to do with our big prizes at the moment. Next expansion is yet to be announced, so don't listen to Paladin. He may or may not be wrong. Still no Poles to play Talisman. There's loads of them. The Polish are one of our largest community bases for Talisman. Can I please see a postcard? You've probably already seen them. And not being a programmer, Demonics, it's probably not for me to say what was difficult to get into the game. There was definitely, before we started working on Dragons, there was a lot of fear that it'd be too much content for us to actually deal with, because there's hundreds of tokens, hundreds of cards, there's all this and that, but we found ways to deal with it. The thing that the programmers fear the most at the moment is Dark Fate. That is what makes them cry, because there's a lot of expansions that require smaller things, smaller mechanics or features or ways of using cards that other expansions rely on heavily. So I think the way we did, like an update we did for spells in Firelands, made spells that were specific to dragons or how they worked really easy to deal with. Whereas had we not done Firelands before dragons, it would have been an utter nightmare. It may not be spells, it's definitely something. Something that we did in Fireland. Terrain cards, possibly. Maybe. I don't know. We did something in Firelands that made doing dragons dead easy. Whereas had we not done Firelands, dragons would have been a nightmare. Dark Fate in the woodlands, or the forest as you may know it, doesn't have a counterpart. There is no kind of like, there's no expansion we can do before woodlands that is going to make Dark Fate easier to do. So yeah, that's what makes people cry. What we're doing? Postcards. I shall return. Right, pull it in. I will send yours one day. I will get round to it. Simon Snow, if you get round to watching this, I will also send yours. We've now got your new address. So, we will send that. I'm just lazy. I'm dead sorry. Right. So, currently, what has been won is... If I can separate them. Oh, I'll make me dead massive as well so it's easier to see the postcards. There's OBS. Where's my mouse gun? Oh, my mouse was inactive because I've not had to use it for that long. There's a massive Gareth. Hello, big Gareth head. My ugly mug. Right. We have a bear postcard. I can't remember which one of you has claimed it. I'll go back and check the notes to make sure I'm sending it to the right person. But we have the bear, which is fully signed by every member of the Nomad team. We have a hag, again fully signed by all the members of the Nomad team. And the ones that are blank, yet to be won, are the witch and the ape. So at some point, if these are considered big prizes, if people would like to get their hands on a fully signed postcard from the Nomad development team, we will stick those up for winning, as prizes for winning. Oh, I'm messing everything up. There we go. I think a few people have requested them already. Like I said, like 500 followers or 750 followers or something like that. We'll do a prize giveaway. 2 have already been claimed by the lovely Pulladin and Simon Snow, and like I said, 2 are still there to be claimed, which we'll do in some form of competition or giveaway. Thought Yo Boy Roy was following me then. It's just YouTube sending me an email saying he's put a new video up. So apparently the season pass link that I put on earlier doesn't actually work. It doesn't link you to the season pass. Anyone would like to check it again, there's that one. Still think you should make character card postcards. I think we should as well. I think we should make merch. We should have Nomad dedicated merch, and we could sell Nomad t-shirts and posters. Be dead good. People could have t-shirts with my face on them. It'd be like Nomad Stream Team. I've had t-shirts with my face on. It's dead funny to wear a t-shirt with you on it. Makes me laugh. Still an empty cart link. Well, that's useless. That will be fed back to our marketing manager that gave me the link. So for the charity event, One Special Day, that I was talking about earlier as well, there's a link for that. So if anyone is interested in looking at what kind of goods will be up for sale, I'm not sure if that link shows directly what will be on sale, but it'll tell you when, where the auction will take place. Hi Pearson, hi John Kentucky. The YouTube lot, we pretty much tend to focus on Twitch and giving things away on Twitch because one, it's easier, it comes with an app. There's just a button we press and it keeps track of who's talking in our Twitch chat. And two, we do more views for posted videos on YouTube, but we do more viewers for live content on Twitch. So we tend to get like 5 people watching us on YouTube and then 200, 300 people will go and watch the video. Whereas on Twitch, we'll have 30, 40, 50 people turn up. Like, we average about 30 at the moment. We're moving up in the world. We'll do it one day. We'll be Twitch famous. Yeah, we have like 30, 50, 60 people that'll roll through the chat at any given moment. But then we get like 10 views after the video's been made. Hi, Rob. Oh yeah, we're also doing an AMA tonight, which is a Reddit thing, which means ask me anything. So that is Reddit, if I can spell properly, .com/r/Games Workshop BG. May not be necessary for you lot here, as you get to ask me anything anyway whilst we're here. But there'll be a whole host of licensees that make games for Games Workshop. We'll all be knocking about, so if you've got any questions about your favourite Games Workshop games, there may be a developer knocking about in 2 hours, 2 hours 20 minutes. So that's 9 PM UK time. I think that's 5 PM Eastern and 3 PM Central. I'll be doing the AMA, which is why it's kind of, may not be as much use for everyone that's here, because you'll get me answering questions later as well. The dice tries to kill everyone, Rainoff. It's one of the kind of feature requests on the Talisman Workshop that's currently on the Steam community. Is dice that don't cheat. People would very much like to have dice that randomise every roll. So if they have something bad, they can quit out, join back in, and get a different result. Which can work for offline play, but for online play, that means people can cheat. See you later, Grimwald, because you've been here and you've commented, your name's in the hat, and if you win, I'll send you a message. Are we anywhere near winning? Baba's doing alright. Well, he's not really. He's not improved his stats at all, but he's got the most lives. Joint most lives. With Steve, who's also not really improved his stats. Pooladin has improved his stats massively, but is the closest to death. That's fine. Oh,
Sorry.
it's alright. I just noticed The text on the back of my shirt disappears. That's funny. Yeah, mini games in Talisman. It's like we've also had those thoughts along with the feature requests of kind of like how do we expand on Talisman, what comes next after Talisman, as I was discussing earlier. Of kind of like what could we do with the Talisman brand? Could we come up with new card games? Could we make puzzle games? Could we? I think one of the things that was requested by one of our Steam lot, Marson, was kind of like a survival mode. One was the survival mode, and then the other was kind of like a challenge mode. So survival would be everyone starts in the same region. You can't gain stats. You can't pick up items or something like that, and you can only go round and it's last man standing. Or you can do it in single player where it's not last man standing, it's just if you get your turns is your score, so last man alive, whoever gets the furthest in the game before death finally claims them, they get the top prize, they're top of the leaderboard. And the other one he suggested was a challenge mode where you essentially begin in a game halfway through. So you are trapped in the dungeon and you have no boost, but there's the mountain dragon here, there's the elemental over there, that kind of thing. It's not that dirty. Manda, who's our artist, who does some streams with us, she is a massive fan of Hearthstone, and Desendos / Richard enjoys playing it as well. We do look at the kind of what the competitors are doing now. Talisman is more of a traditional board game than card game. Like the way I always describe it to people is it's Monopoly meets D&D. But if you look at what is successful, what is out there that is a fancy card game / board game, and what they're doing, what we could potentially do to kind of create user experiences similar to those, that is definitely something that we think of. Because obviously we'd love to make loads of money and become the next Angry Birds or Flappy Bird or Hearthstone or all that kind of thing. But it also allows us to flex our creative development muscles, because it's all well and good being like Tyr Jethro was a massive fan of Talisman before he worked at Nomad. So it was for him, it was like hitting the jackpot. He got to work on his favourite board game, or one of his favourite board games. But he's now, what, 3.5 / 4 years in of working on the same thing. I'm sure he would relish the challenge of coming up with something new. Warlock of Firetop Mountain. We've done that! Demonics! We've made that game! Mansions of Madness. I'm sure Amanda keeps banging on about that. Mansions of Madness is the one where you're all on the same team, but you land on certain spaces that reveal, and one of those cards that you reveal secretly makes you the bad guy, and then suddenly it becomes a 4-on-1. Am I getting that right? Yeah, Demonics. It's called Fighting Fantasy Legends. We made that game. Where's the link? Yeah, in the chat, Demonics, that I've just put there, that is a link to Fighting Fantasy Legends, which is a 3 books in one game, kind of like choose your own adventure style game, which is based on Warlock of Firetop Mountain, Citadels of Chaos, and the City of Thieves. So you can bounce between each book in one playthrough, and you have the general plot points of going to find Zambar Bone and what are the names? Zambar Bone is at the One Black Tower, Balthius Dyer, and I can't remember the wizard that's at, or the Warlock of Firetop Mountain. I can't remember his actual name, But yeah, you go through, you roll your dice when you encounter events, and you level up your stats, or you level up your dice. And the better your dice get, the better chance you have of winning. And you ultimately have to go around and complete the quests that are set in front of you. There are plenty of stages where you can go left or right, or you can go straight down the middle. You can go into a house. You can choose to kill the merchant or not kill the merchant, that kind of thing. Yeah, we've already done the game. So Rainoff, when are we seeing you in the UK? Obviously we may not see you, but you said you had an interview? You're welcome. When we were starting to work on the Fighting Fantasy Legends game, Carl Jackson, who was the lead producer, editor, he did a lot of work to get the game from an idea in his head to being a digital game that we release. He made a paper prototype, so he wanted to test how effective the dice, his dice mechanics were, how effective his decision trees were, and what people would do when they are confronted with certain actions, a la Choose Your Own Adventure. And he wanted to see if he could get the hang of creating that user experience where everyone is dealt the same tools, everyone begins the game with the same opportunities, but the further down the rabbit hole you go, the more unique an experience you have. And when we did a video with Ian Livingston, one of the co-creators of the Fighting Fantasy books, and I think I said to him, my view of Fighting Fantasy is everyone has the same book, but no one has the same story. You're going to TT Games? That is up the road from us. Oh yeah, it's a paper prototype. I'll finish my train of thought before I lose it. Everyone went into the meeting office with just Carl, and he had pen and pad to take notes of what people would do, the feedback they were giving him, and that experience as a game developer. I've started in QA and I've moved to being a producer, but one of my favourite experiences is watching people come out of that room and them going, this happened to me, this happened to me, this happened to me. I got killed by an egg, which is very Fighting Fantasy, and then someone else would go in the room and they'd come out and go, what happened to you? And then I went in and I tried to beat the guy in the arm wrestle. There was the guy that was tied down that I had to help him out, that kind of thing. And then I walk out the room and everyone turns to me and kind of goes, what happened to you? And that is quintessential Fighting Fantasy. And having that hour of gameplay of kind of trying to figure out what other people may have done to get what they did, and not seeing them at all. People coming out and saying, I don't want to give you too many spoilers, but this happened. And I'm sat there going, how did they get this to happen? Where did they go? Where am I? What is happening? And then I go out and everyone's bamboozled with how I got to where I got. Yeah, that was a lot of fun to make. Yeah, that's awesome. Right enough, we're in Lim, which is just down the road from Wilmslow. We're like a 20-minute drive from Manchester. But yeah, TT's well renowned in these areas. It has a lot of staff, and a lot of people in the industry, especially in these areas, have gone through TT at some point. How well is Fighting Fantasy Legends selling in its first month and a half? Hi, Runaway, you noobs. It's doing alright. It's not a AAA title, so it's never going to set the world on fire. And comparing it to Talisman is quite difficult, because Talisman in its infancy was a very slow burner. We didn't make massive amounts of money off Talisman straight away. It's just been one of those games that have trundled on. It's always made money since it's come out, kind of thing. Hopefully you get a chance. Oh, right, Baba's dead, that's why he's left. Hi again, Ash. Yeah, hopefully you get it. But yeah, Runaway, it's doing well. We've just released the game in Chinese. So in Japan, we've been like #1 in their games charts or the various Android iOS charts since its release. Or we've been in the top 5, we've not moved. The UK, we've cycled in and out. And in France, we've done quite well because these are languages we initially had localized. And we've since put the game into Chinese, so it's going to be interesting. We've never properly been on the Chinese market. I mean, Talisman's out for on Steam in China, but it doesn't have Chinese language. So anyone that gets the game in China has to speak English, French, Spanish, German, Italian, or Polish. That's what the game's in. But yeah, Fighting Fantasy Legends now in Chinese. It's that interesting playing in not only a language you don't speak, but a language you have no knowledge of how it works. Because like I can swap into German, French, Italian, and they are close enough to English for me to maybe not be able to read what it says, but I know the format, I know the way it works. Chinese and Japanese is just like it obviously uses a different character system. That interesting. We've done 2 giveaways, I think. Have we done 2 giveaways? I've been banging on for a while. No, we've only done 1. Yeah. Behenix won. Oh! I accidentally pressed the button too soon. Meline, you've won something! It was a bit anticlimactic. We didn't do any build-up. There you go. There's our second winner. Yeah, right off. Lim's super close to Wilmslow. Especially if you're from somewhere that is a country bigger than England, which isn't hard. If you're from Poland, things are hundreds of miles apart. In the UK, everything's dead close. There's some very specific questions, noobs. I'm not marketing, and I'm not kind of a director, so, and it's also not a product that I'm the producer of. So its exact revenue and how successful it's been is not something that I could give an accurate answer on. I think it goes kind of like iOS and Steam with Android behind slightly, which is typical of the gaming market. iOS with Apple having so many tablets and iPads and all that kind of thing, they're seen as kind of a more traditional gaming device than half the Androids that are out on the market. US, China, the States, I don't think we were that we've made a massive impact on, but that's similar to the books. Fighting Fantasy was never a big physical seller over in the States. Chinese, don't know. We'll find out soon on whether it has an impact. But obviously in the US, they predominantly speak English anyway. Obviously with Spanish being a large portion as well, but a lot of people who are first language Spanish also have second language as English. Right, so let's catch up. Yeah, from what I understand, Texas is 3 times the size of France. And France is like 3 times the size of the UK. It's massive. Hi, Varney! There's also that demonics. It may be the case of if you can afford an iPad, you may have more money to afford things. Yeah, in that case, Runaway, it's depending on what you're trying to develop. Steam comes first for us for Talisman, I think, in terms of user base. But for Fighting Fantasy, it may be iOS or Steam. I can't quite remember which one's which. Like I said, I'm probably not giving you entirely accurate answers. Yeah, Varney, if you want a challenging game, Dragons Firelands, no other expansion. Don't use the corner board expansions. Don't use any of the quest rewards. Don't use the stables deck. Just have the Firelands, Ifrit Sultan, Ifrit Sultana in play, and then dragon tokens left and right. It is a nightmare. And it's a dead fun nightmare. If you're into a challenge, that is. Yeah, Runaway You Noobs, go to Steam, go to Talisman, and look in our community. If you have specific questions about how the game is programmed, how we do the art for the game, there are more of us than just me. There's also a AMA and Ask Me Anything on Reddit later on, I'll put it in the chat again, reddit.com/r/Games Workshop VG, which is video games. There are a load of licensees, people who make Games Workshop games digital. We're all going to be rocking up to Reddit in 2 hours at 9 PM UK time. And they will have people who are dedicated tablets, people who are dedicated Steam, people who make massive games, people who make little games, people who make niche games, although it's Warhammer, so a lot of them are pretty much niche. But they will also be able to give you a far more expansive and kind of different experience to use, which may help you out. It's also a good place to ask those kind of questions. Yes, Merlene, you won. So, what do you want? Do you want Fighting Fantasy Legends? Do you want Talisman, the board game? Any of its expansions? Horus Heresy? Any of its expansions? Do you want it on Steam? Do you want it on iOS? Do you want it on Android? No worries, noob. Do I have to make a decision about the gift? What do you have? Do you have nothing of ours? Do you have everything of ours? I can give you some at random if you'd like, but it's up to you. If you have Talisman, the base game, and only 1, 2, 0 expansions, name an expansion, or I could try and advise you on what is a good one to get. Xbox One needs Talisman. You said this earlier on, Mulder. I am an Xbox fanboy. If anyone wants to play Siege on Xbox, let me know. I will definitely add you. But yeah, I hope one day to see Talisman on the Xbox. It'd be cool to have an Xbox in the office that I can do QA on for Talisman. I mean, yeah, I can give you the key, Millie. Right, hold on. Do something then. It's not up to me, Mulder. I'd love to. Hold on. Merlene, we are giving out free copies of the base game next week. Everyone that turns up will get a free key. Should I give her an I was saying that, if I give her an expansion, it doesn't matter, 'cause she'll probably play with you. I don't. Does she want the base game, or should I give her an expansion and then next week get a free key from us? See what you did there, Talisman Island. Hi, Fancy Cat. Next week, all the free keys that will be going out for Talisman will be the Steam version, and it'll be just the baseboard. But everyone that gets up, everyone that turns up will get one. Yeah. The Horrible Black Void is my favourite ending, Bish. When I introduced my friends to the game 2 weeks ago, I went up to theirs and bought a load of board games from the office. They made me take it out. They read the endings and they're like, nope, let's not play with this one. Do you have a favourite ending? Does your daughter have a favourite ending, Merlene? Because if she already has a favourite ending, we'll just give her ending. Expansion. We'll just give her that one. So yeah, next week there's one special day run by the charity Special Effect. So as part of that, we're giving away free copies of Talisman, the base game. But the one special day is a charity auction that loads of developers are giving content to. I will stick the link in the chat. Any expansion. Chat, what expansion should I give to Merlene's daughter? I would recommend Blood Moon, but I know a lot of people think the Reaper deck or Sacred Pool are good starter decks. Come on, pull it in. Don't die now. Reaper or Frost March? Board expansions. So Dungeon... Highlands then. If you want a board expansion for your daughter, I think the Highland... Dungeon may be a bit too difficult because that's the more challenging expansion. Corner board expansion. Before we introduce the Woodlands. Community reckons Frost March. Frost March isn't a bad thing because you still get your base deck, you've still got your mechanics that you know and you're familiar with, but it just makes the adventure deck more varied. Oh, Cat's going with corner board expansion. If it's corner board, it'll be the Highlands. I think that's the easiest one to start with. Are you going dungeon? Alright. Fighting Fantasy Legends is something we can't predict. We didn't predict Talisman to be a slow burner. It's just been consistent. It has peaks and troughs somewhere. We have like summer sales, Steam sales, all that kind of things where we have an influx of new users. But it was always sold over the past 3.5 years or whenever it came out. Right, I will get you a key for the dungeon. Just before I forget. Where is it? Dungeon. I assume it's a Steam key, Merlene. Is it Steam? Or is it iPad or Android? Key for the dungeon for a key for the dragon. Lemmy, what are you trying to do? There, Merlene, I've whispered it to you. No, you don't need to give it to me. So I've whispered you the key. To use that key, go to Steam. On your Steam library in the bottom left, it will say add a game. Click on that, add a product to Steam, and then use that key. There'll be a bunch of like, I agree to terms and conditions on using Steam and Steam keys and all that business. Weren't you our very first winner, Lemmy? Lempy. When I couldn't spell your name properly. Rainoff, what do you mean by designer role? Is that an art role or a coder role? Or is it more creative? Because designer in terms of working in the gaming industry is a very broad term. Yeah, the hat loved you for a time period, didn't it? Right, how are we doing on the hat? We have 34 names in the hat. So anyone that's just tuned in late, to enter for a key for any of our games, in the Twitch chat, leave any form of comment. Cue people typing any form of comment because they're dead fun. I'll do the final draw because we've done 2 already. We'll do a third when Paladin inevitably wins the game. Either that or gets a bit overzealous and gets himself killed in the process. Lemmy, we'll sort something out, don't worry. When someone wins, their name is taken out of the hat for that session. So you won't win another tonight at least. But when we do more draws next week, there's another chance we refresh. But it is wishful thinking. Game designer is a very broad term, because if you're going to a place like TT, they will always do Lego stuff, and then they will have their brands that they work with, like Adventure Time or DC or Sonic, because obviously they've got their big push is Dimensions, because that will roll on forever. But the creative design elements for that are making code that works, or creating art or sprites or animations that work. So that's the code aside for it. So it's quite vague. QA is the first rung on the ladder, though, if that's what you're going for. That's how I started in the industry. I used to work in a betting office. People used to walk in, they would give me money and yell at me, and they would write their bet down, and I would process it, and I would hate my life for enabling an addiction, because gambling is bad, in my opinion. And then one day I got fed up and went, I'm done with this, I'm going to live my dream. And I sent a CV out with a cover letter that said I honestly have no passion for working a job that I don't agree with. What I would like to do is enjoy getting up in the morning and going to a place where I want to be. And I sent it out to a bunch of places, and I got a response from one Nomad Games, and I started in QA, going through testing things. And the first expansion that I worked on for Talisman was the city expansion. So my very first thing that I was tasked with is, here's a stack of cards, go through, make sure they do as they say on the tin. So yeah, I would just be honest in your approach and be willing. Get yourself out there, stick your name out there, and don't be willing to allow people to drop you. And all that kind of spirited fortune cookie style wisdom. Designer as creative related to applied design of anything with design. The part where they design from the idea forward, writing stuff up, mechanics, etc. So would you be going in on a programming level? That wasn't chicken. Great British Bake Off did fortune cookies. It's quite funny because I was watching it with Danny Pipperoo, my wife, over there. And a lot of people were having the confusion of why they would need a cup. Because when you're making a fortune cookie, you use a glass and you bend your fortune cookie on it to shape it. And 50% of the people on the bake-off understood what that meant, and 50% of the people were just looking at the glass and the fortune cookie going, what sense does this make? I was sat there going, I also don't understand it, but I didn't tell her. Yeah. When it showed people actually bending the fortune cookie, then I was like, ah, right, that's what it means. There are exactly 14 people here, Danny. It is an office building. Are you off, Merlene, or are you saying bye to someone else? Oh, it might be you. If you're going, bye, Merlene. Yeah, so we're in a block. Well, not a block. It's like an old renovated barn thing. But we have 4 rooms in a building that has 8, I think. So this little room that I'm in, I'm pointing behind me to a green screen where you can't actually see what I'm pointing to. This is kind of a HR marketing room. So Bex sits at this computer over here. She's our head of marketing. So if you talk to anyone on Facebook or Twitter, chances are it's her. We've got the lovely Bev over here, who's HR. In this room over this way, we have Jethro and Richard, who are Tier and Desendos on the Steam threads. They are coders. And then in the main room out there, on the floor, we have Carl, Rob, Andy, and Matt. They are all directors that do coding, production, art. And then on the other side of that same room is me, Michael, and Amanda, who are QA art production. And then upstairs, the big man, Don. Oh, James as well. James is in the other office. He's recently joined the team, and he is a phenomenal programmer who's helping us expand. So there's some exciting things that will be coming with that will have announcements in the future. Yeah, and then upstairs is the director, Don, who you will see in the Steam threads every now and again. He is Chief Druid on the threads, and he keeps all the cogs in the machine turning over. That's what a director does. Director gives direction. Fighting Fantasy Legends will get a Spanish translation. We spoke about this earlier. We will give a Spanish translation to Fighting Fantasy Legends if there's a demand for it. So if you want any of our games in your language, hassle us on Twitter, Facebook, or support@nomadgames.co.uk. Every now and again we get someone go, I want the game in Korean, I want the game in Portuguese, I want the game in whatever language. But it takes time and effort and resources to get a brand new language into a game. So there needs to be enough people to justify us doing it. We do have blogs on our website. I'll send you one of the links. I think all the links that I've been putting in so far go to our website. What have I just done with them? There's the Dragon expansion link. Yeah, so on our blog pages, which is probably in the About Us section or somewhere on our website, there are Q&As with Carl, Don, Andy, I think. We should probably do some more. I'll suggest that to Bex, and we'll get a few more Q&As done. It's easy to mistake you and Don. Important question. Are any of the teams secretly Neo? No, they are not. I don't think Neo would be allowed in the office if he turned up. We do have stacks and stacks of things on shelves, but the only child that really turns up is mine, and he's not allowed here anymore because he ruins everything. Any romance at the office? Andy Bate, who is our art director, and Bex Bate, our husband and wife. Bev and Carl are also partners and pointing in directions of people who aren't here. Yeah, we have 2 couples in the office, with one pair being married. No romance between the rest of us though. No love lost there. What do you do, Bish? I know you're a coder of some sort, but I don't know exactly what you code. Do we do automation testing with our games? Yes, we do. I assume you're going to know the phrase, noobs, but we do soak tests, which means we allow the AI to run 6 different games at once with 6 different AI characters in for Talisman anyway, and it will start and get to a block or a crash or a freeze or completion of the game, and it will then calculate, it will track data from that game and start again. So with it running 6 games on super fast mode, we can have a full 150 round game completed in the space of 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So if we leave a soap test running over the weekend, we can get thousands of games completed. Now what we can't tell from this is whether the AI has made good or bad decisions, but it does help us clean up crashes, blocks and freezes. So if there's any card in the game that causes an instant crash, if you use a sword in a bag of holding whilst on the cursed glades and the game can't handle it, we have crash data from all that kind of stuff. We've also updated the soak monitor to work with fighting fantasy legends, so the AI will go through and it will make a random decision. So typically you'll have 2 or 3 decisions, but sometimes you have more. And in fighting fantasy legends, it random pick them. So then we can go through the games and explore all the different places where if you got to X place and made X decision whilst holding X items, that kind of thing, and it caused a crash, we would also get data from that. It's just effort, Danny. I sit here and I have to put on my smiley happy host face and be like, hi guys, welcome to our stream. And then my child is running around and ruining everything and I'm like, please stop. Hi, Rage Penguins. I'm an IT systems network admin. What does that mean? That is a lovely type. Oh, Steve's dead! Paladin, congratulations! I could go home! Yay! Did the AI make decisions on the UI displayed or with the data that goes to the UI one step back? I think the AI functions as a human in that sense. So I think the AI is told you have these options present and it does a kind of like a coded click of the button kind of thing. Congratulations! I got no experience from that game. I am glad that I was here the whole time. Steve dead? I won't give away, forget the last giveaway. I need to eat as well, that'd be nice. Steve lost intentionally, fell on his sword. Steve got hungry, left game. We have Rob, who is a director of something, I forget his correct title. He is our network guy essentially. Although Rob and Matt, the directors, have been programming for 20 to 30 years. So like 60 between them. No worries, noobs. So they do networks like in their sleep. So all of the whole Nomad networks that everyone has a shared folders that we can all access, place things into, pull things out to. We have a device called Jenkins, which is what produces our builds when we hit a kind of an update button. that spills into a communal space. Those two guys, they do that, and I'm sure as I say all these words, these are things that you'd recognise, Bish. It's not big enough to accommodate you in the sense that we don't have enough people in the building to need someone that has a dedicated role to looking after everything. It's not as if we have like 50 people on one floor, 100 people on the next, 20 in this, 30 in that room over there. Giveaway hype. Oh, Rage Penguins has turned up like a minute before the giveaway, so he's in with a chance. The hat normally favours the last person to turn up to the room. Oh yeah, you brought your kid here, didn't you? Although your kid was much younger than mine, so far less destructive. Oh, there's the shaman right next to me. I'm going to point that way and hope that I get it right. The lovely shaman. So, special effect, the charity that we made that character for, if you have ever purchased a shaman or you would like to, all proceeds from the shaman character. Oh, I was pointing the wrong. Oh no, I got it right. Yeah, all proceeds from the shaman character have gone to special effect or will go to special effect. That's about 12k so far. Next week we're giving out a copy of Talisman, the base game, to every user that turns up. There'll be a space on our website for your Twitch name or YouTube name, your email address, and then the password that we'll give out in the stream. And that's in honour of one special day. Right, for you lot that have been here for like 2 hours, this is the last time you'll hear me say it. Sorry for going on about it. But it's a charity, so yeah. If you click that link, there is a charity auction where loads of different development teams that make a variety of different games, they've given stuff to Special Effect to auction away. We've got loads of stuff here that we're going to be putting part of that, putting up for auction for Special Effect. Special Effect are a charity that makes technology for people with disabilities to have the same access to gaming as us people take for granted. So definitely worth checking out and supporting. And in honour of that, on the Thursday, we'll be giving out up to 10,000 keys for Talisman, I think. So I doubt we'll get 10,000 people in the stream, but you never know. We might go viral. Woo! And all that stuff. Yeah, as I was said earlier, John, when we've seen Special Effect at events like EGX, the last one we went to, in fact, was EGX Resd in London, and we had one side of a stand, and on the back of that was Special Effects stand, and you can play Rocket League with just your eyes. So if you have a disability that means that you can't raise your arms, you may not have hands, you may be bedbound, there is a device that allows you to game with your eyes, and Special Effect are the company that make that kind of technology. They are phenomenal. Definitely worth checking out. I think I've run out of steam now. How long have we been going? 2.5 hours? Ugh. Not quite the 3.5 hours we had the other week. So yeah, if you like Special Effect, show them some love. If not, buy the Shaman character. If not, turn up next Thursday and get a free copy of Talisman. If you don't want to do that, there's an auction on the Friday where a game that you love might have some special content that's going up for auction. The link is in the chat, as always. I should probably put them in the YouTube description. Good idea, me. Right, let's do the final giveaway. Anyone that would like to win any of Nomad Games' content, we give away a key of the winner's choice, except for season passes. We do base games, any expansion for Talisman, the game that's currently all around me, Talisman the Horus Heresy, Fighting Fantasy Legends, Backgammon Blitz, Lapland Solitaire, and that could be iOS, Android or Steam. I swear I owe someone an iOS key from either last week or the week before. I promised that I'd go and get one because Carl, who orders the iOS keys, wasn't in, and I said I'd do it tomorrow, and then me being me, I forgot, which is why we've still got the postcards right next to me. Yeah, we stream every Thursday, 5 PM UK time, Demonics. Has anybody ever asked for backgammon? You leave backgammon alone, Danny. So it's a lovely game. And I'd never played backgammon until I started testing it. Turns out it's like chess or drafts, it's that. Excuse me, that kind of game. Yeah, so anyone that's not, who wants to win something of ours, all you have to do is comment in the Twitch chat. That's the only thing you have to do. Any form of comment, you can say hi, you can leave a full stop. Smash Up, soon. Smash Up is coming soon. I'm not sure if the release date has been announced yet, so I can't mention it, but it's soon. I'm excited, it's finally coming out. And hopefully we can start doing Smash Up streams, and I can play against you lovely folk in games of Smash Up, and I can get a bunch of keys from Asmodee, the publishers, and we can give them out for free as well. Define soon. Soon TM. It's the developer slang for soon. Keep pushing it, pull it in. Talisman music is driving me bonkers. Cat, put a suggestion in the Talisman workshop saying to get new music, to change it out. Matthias Westland, who does the Talisman music, did Horus Heresy and Fighting Fancy as well. Be dead good to get new music. Soon TM, there it is. Hammer Time knows. Right, so mute it during stream. What, the Talisman music? It means when I kind of like get bored of talking to you, it's not just me sat here in silence. Sometimes I can rant on, sometimes I can't. It's a gift that comes and goes. When I was in high school, I used to carry a Game Boy around with me with Pokemon, and I'd put the Pokemon radio on and put my earphones into it, so I'd be listening to like Verulian City. I don't know, I forget the names. I'm that old. I'm not that old, but I'm old enough to forget what Pokemon sounds like. But yeah, I used to listen to that as like a Walkman. Any Nomad Games t-shirts on offer? We should. We should do that. Yeah, right, so I'm going to do the draw now. If you're yet to comment in the Twitch chat, you will not be eligible to win anything. So, you know, tough. You've been warned repeatedly. Working as intended. Hammer Time. The correct phrase for that, Hammer Time, is it works on my machine. Right, so let's get the hat open. I've not closed it once this stream. Hey! I finally, for one stream, got it right. Although the hat has lost track of where all the conversation is. Cannot reproduce. That's it. Need more information. It works on my machine. Right, so in 15 seconds, let's bring my face up so I know when I'm doing gestures, so I know to time my button press with Pebcac. That is the common one. The most common problem that you will find in bug reports. So, drum roll, their name. Steve! Steve, is there anything you don't have of ours? I'm not sure if Steve's here. I might do one more. I'll do one more as well, you know. I'm gonna do it. I feel giddy. Let's do a fourth winner. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Because Steve won either last week or the week before, and he got a copy of Fighting Fancy Legends. Hopefully the hat will draw someone. What if do I go to that and that gets rid of the previous winners? Yes, it does. I remember playing a Digimon card, not card game, but a PS1 game, and it was dead good. It got me into Digimon because I never liked the actual cartoon. I'm gonna do a fourth one, then I'm going home. Oh yeah, Reddit AMA tonight. Reddit/r/Games Workshop VG, which stands for video games. There's a whole host of Games Workshop licensees who've made digital games for Games Workshop stuff that will be doing Ask Me Anythings. So if you've got any further questions for me that I've missed in the chat, or any questions for anyone about how to make games, how they made certain games, whether they intend to do this or that, what choices did they make, head over to Reddit at 9 PM. So that's in an hour and a half for us. For other places, it's 9 PM BST. Right, so Steve, we'll figure something out whenever you're about. But I'll do fourth winner. Right, so ba-ba-da-ba, drum roll, waves hands, can see waving hands, we'll do new name. And then sit awkwardly for like 15 seconds. Whilst waits for video to catch up. There's the waving hands. Lenny! It's been a while! Congratulations, Lemmy! What do you want? You wanted the dungeon, didn't you? No, you wanted to trade the dungeon for dragons. Do you want dragons? Dragons for your wife. How about this, Lemmy? I'll get you the dragons regardless. But why don't I roll again, and whoever is the name drawn gets your copy of the dungeons that you're so desperately trying to get rid of? Does that sound like a fair deal? What do you reckon? I'm in the process of getting your key. There's dragon. I assume you want it for Steam. Yeah, I guess. Do you want your dragons for Steam? Yup, Steam. I shall whisper to you. Oh, it says we're friends. Right, my whispers disappeared. Where did that go? Button Smash University. That's a name. Welcome. So, are you okay with giving away that copy of the dungeon, or we'll say, do you want to save it for another day? Memes. Bald men, memes. You don't have to give it away, there's no obligation on that. We'll sort something out another day. You want to give it to someone? You want to give it to someone you know? That's absolutely fair enough, Lammy. But I'm cool, guy. What does that mean? Does that mean I should roll again, or should we discuss it outside of stream? At my university, it's all about the BS. The button smash. Yes, it is. Right, I'm going home. I've had enough of yous. This is like becoming my sign-off, like, style. Kind of like declare that yous have done my head in. I'm going home. No, I've done 4. I'm only supposed to do 3. Anyone that likes Xbox, that has an Xbox and plays Siege, Rage Penguins, I know you do. My name on Xbox is Gareth, spelled Gareth, Grump, surprisingly. So if you have an Xbox, feel free to add me. I'm quite happy to game with people. I'll do one final drop of the one special day link. Let's grab that there. Siege tonight. We'll see. I've not had a chance to play the new operators yet. I've not even unlocked them. Yeah, next week, one special day, special effect charity, giving away a copy of the base game of Talisman to every user that turns up. There's going to be a charity auction on the Friday. Check out special effects, see what they do. They're good. It's a Windows 10 machine, essentially, Hammer Time. It's effectively what it is. Right, sign off stuff. Like us, follow us, love us, share us, say hi to us. I don't know. All those typical things. If you want to support us, follow us on Twitch. When we get enough followers on Twitch, we'll start giving away big prizes or something. I don't know. Also, leave us nice reviews. That really helps us. I think that's the only pandering stuff I have to do. Thanks for... the stream will be Thursday 5 PM, same time. When a Talisman tournament is broadcasted on this channel, we'll do something. We might do a 1v1. That's an idea. We'll do like a 1v1 Q&A sesh. So we'll have someone face someone and winner stays on kind of thing. Or maybe not, I don't know. And we'll get all of the directors and all the people that hate streaming and don't want to be on the camera. And we'll sit them down and talk to them about how they got into the industry, what made them pick Talisman, what they did when they were making Talisman, all that kind of stuff. That's a solid idea, Varney. But yeah, Thursday, 5 PM UK time is our typical stream. We'll be back here next week. I think it's me and Bex, our marketing manager. I think it's us two. And one day we might get Nomad Boy back. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, thanks very much for stopping by, guys. It's been nice for you to keep me company. Makes this so much easier. See you next Thursday. Oh yeah, AMA tonight. Missed any questions? Go over to Reddit. Figure it out. If not, see you in the Steam. Bye. Bye. Love you.